Alright guys, so we made it safe and sound to the first stop. I gotta get some fuel, man. Let me see if you guys see my fuel gauge, man. Turn it on real quick. Look at that, man. We gotta get some fuel. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yep. But we'll be good, man. We got the next stop is across the street, and then stop after that is about 30 minutes away, close by the Loves that I have to go to, or that I normally go to, so we'll be good. All right, we gotta get this chemical pallet off first. See that pallet down there? I could have moved it, but if I go this way, it's not in my way. Good. All right, gang, so we just dropped the last pallet, freezer pallet. I'm leaving my paperwork here. Just always look over the pallets, make sure all the cases that you see belong to this customer. I normally just leave my paperwork right here. And we all good, man. Let's get up out of here. Made it to the next stop, guys. Gotta open these doors up. Just sitting there waiting on security to come unlock the doors for me. Right here. They should be here in a few minutes. But pros and cons to night driving, man. That's what I'm gonna be talking about today. Just giving you guys my personal opinion, right? Let's start with the pros, man. So one pro to me driving at night is that it's fewer people on the road, all right? When you're driving in the daytime, you gotta deal with a lot of traffic, particularly in this line of work when you're trying to make deliveries. So driving in the daytime can be a little bit more challenging than driving at night. So that's one pro about driving at night. Fewer people on the road. The second thing I like about driving at night is it's just calm, real calm driving at night. And also the weather. Now I live in the South, so it's hot during the day and at night here, but every now and then you do get a cool breeze at night, and that's pretty nice. So I like that. Let's see, another pro to driving at night. Well, when it comes to my job, working night shift, I like working night shift just because I know when I'm at work, most people are in their bed asleep. And when I get off work, most people are coming to work, right? So that's a good feeling. So when it comes to working a night shift, driving at night, I don't have a problem with it. I actually don't have a problem with working in the daytime either. I'm cool with either or. But somebody asked me, you know, how was it for you transitioning into working at night? How was that process? Was it difficult for you to get acclimated to working nights? And for me, no. Probably because I worked in another delivery business similar to what I'm doing now, working overnights for over 10 years. So it was just something that I was used to anyway. So working third shift, graveyard shift, overnight, whatever you want to call it, my body is already used to working these type of hours, so it's really no big deal for me. And again, I like being able to get off early and have the rest of the day to do whatever I want to do. So that's one of the things that I really love about working at night and getting off early in the morning. I love that. We'll get to some of the cons in a little bit. You guys keep it locked. Somebody commented on the video yesterday and was like, man, you need to get a longer dolly. Get one of the tall dollies. Get rid of that shorter dolly. No. Hey, I love my shorties. Love my short dollies, man. I don't like the tall dollies. Shout out to everybody who got a tall dolly. If you like them, that's great. But me, I prefer the shorties. You feel me? So one thing, listen, new drivers, listen up. One thing you guys have to understand is that everybody, the longer you stay in this business, you'll learn that everybody has their way of doing things. What works for somebody else may not work for you. Find out what works for you and stick with that. You may be in training right now. Somebody may be training you in a way that you know when you get on your own, you're probably gonna do some things differently. Do what works for you in this business. That's one thing you guys gotta understand, all right? Keep it locked. Look how they got all this stuff in my way, bro. This like driving a semi. Gotta get through some of these tight spots. Yeah. That's that skill, man. So we heading to the last stop of the day. It's still early, 6:14 a.m. Yeah, it's been pretty smooth so far, pretty smooth. So let's get into these cons of driving at night, right? So some cons to driving at night. Number one, animals. Night driving, particularly if you live somewhere in the south like me, it's no telling what kind of animal you'll see running across the road or alongside the roads. Deers, possums, raccoons, stray dogs. About a month and a half ago or last, it's probably been almost 2 months. I was in Mississippi. I'm not gonna say where in Mississippi. Country, right? On some of those back roads in Mississippi. And I kid you guys not, man, true story. I passed by, it was like a herd of livestock, some cattle. Looks like some black cows alongside of the road, man. And this road that I was traveling on is really dark. There's no pole lights, street lights, nothing like that on this road. It's just really dark road, man. Thank God they weren't in the middle of the road, right? They were alongside of the road, really close to the road, but they wasn't in the street, right? Thank God, man. Can you imagine what hitting a cow would do to this tractor, it would be the equivalent of hitting a vehicle. And so, yeah, that was crazy, man. I was thanking God so much when I passed by him. That was a crazy scene. I've never seen that before. I've seen horses before at night alongside of the road in my personal vehicle. Not in Mississippi, but back in Florida years ago. So, again, man, you never know what to expect at night. You can see, you liable to see anything at night. Another thing, driving at night, is you got to worry about pedestrians. A lot of people, for whatever reason, like to walk the streets at night. Oftentimes, you'll see them really close to the road, too. So, you just got to be very vigilant and keep your head on the swivel when you're driving at night. More so than driving in the daytime like this, where you can see everything. So yeah, that's definitely some cons to driving at night. Also, a lot of drivers get tired, so fatigue kicks in. You get sleepy at night, so it's hard to stay awake for a lot of guys. But let me give you the solution to sleepiness or being tired. Let me give you the solution real quick. Y'all listening? Proper rest, an adequate amount of sleep. If you get the proper amount of rest, the proper amount of sleep, you won't have to deal with being tired driving at night, right? Your body and your mind are already telling you that it's nighttime, so automatically your mind is telling your body that you should be asleep when it's dark outside, right? So you got to deal with that dynamic. But if you could just get the proper amount of sleep, you won't have to deal with being tired at night. A lot of people, when they're tired at night, some of the things they like to do to try to keep themselves awake is drink energy drinks, turn the radio up loud, listen to loud music, let the window down to get some of the wind blowing in, all sorts of things, right? None of those things can compete with getting the proper amount of sleep. So that would definitely be a con, just feeling tired at night. But I just gave you guys the answer to that problem. So we mentioned the animals having to deal with that hazard. That's a con. Also the pedestrians. We mentioned being tired. That's why a lot of drivers don't like working at night, driving at night, because of fatigue. Something else, another con driving at night would be road construction, in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot more road construction at night. And it makes sense, right? Guys want to get out when there's not very many people out on the road to do whatever job they're trying to do on the road, whether it's pouring asphalt or some type of, filling potholes, whatever the case may be. It makes sense to do it at night when there's not a lot of vehicles on the road, or very few vehicles compared to, daylight, driving in the day. So. But yeah, those are some cons, man, to driving at night that you have to deal with. So there you go, man. That's some of my pros and cons to driving at night. Also, let me just say this, working at night / driving at night. Another con with working at night, I think, is the fact that you're not in your own bed. It feels good sleeping in your bed at night and not having to work, right? If you got a shift to where it's like, you go in at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning or later, you're able to sleep at night in your bed as opposed to driving. So that could be a con depending on who you ask. So just working this shift definitely can be a con to a lot of people. So there you go. There's some of my cons. You guys let me know in the comments section. Drop some more cons or pros and cons to driving at night. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. But that's all I got for you guys. We're gonna knock this last stop out and I'm gonna head to the hotel. Look, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Don't forget to do all that YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications, man, so you're notified when I'm posting videos. Definitely do that, all right? I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Y'all take care.